I've got my hat on frontwards. It's time
You're
to
a
party.
standard postal person.
Oh, Cap, you would have been so proud of me
Mm.
before, when I was DMing Chris's Salt Marsh game and had them detour to Sigil. There was a point where I had every character in the game except for Chris was having sex with some sort of supernatural creature.
Hey,
The
nice.
the fawn character had sex with the Drider. Um,
I
my my character Draka had sex with the Medusa, and
Classic.
there was some changeling on changeling action going on too.
Very fun. I'm
Yeah,
so proud of you.
I thought you. I kept meaning to mention it to you. She was a very cute Drider.
All of the love in my heart. I
Uh,
really, honestly wouldn't have expected it at that party.
It was a lot of fading to black. I did the Drider gave the Naz a lot of hickeys though, so that was pretty funny.
On that note.
You roll for tell. I needed a question answered before we continue.
Oh,
Do
Jesus.
you roll for hickeys?
Oh, that's interesting.
I
I
roll a
No.
fortitude save to resist hickeys.
I did not, but perhaps I was unfair and should have
I think
given.
that, with mandibles, you don't get
No,
a
no,
roll.
no. With the Drider, I think you're gonna get hickeys
Yeah, at least.
and blood loss.
Also, if
yeah.
you
And, may,
puncture wounds between friends.
and maybe some digestive fluids injected into your body if if things get intense.
You
But
gotta loosen them up somehow.
Mhm.
Ugh.
I should open my character sheet. And the dice roller. There we go. Oh, I'm sitting on quite a bit of experience, but I'm saving it for a rainy day.
The Resurrection Man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, he's a human with 6 in strength.
That's a lot of strength.
It is.
That's 5 more strength than I have. Although
Yeah, I
if you
made all
want to
my.
give me like 1 more experience point, I can fix that.
I was gonna say I made all my ones twos pretty early on.
Nah, I went skills. I'm a skill monkey.
So, when we last left off, the party had successfully delivered all of the vampire, all of the Nosferatu into the welcoming arms of the Mad Prince. Although the Nosferatu did note that Yosef was still missing, and that all other Nosferatu are dead or accounted for, unless they're lying. I mean, they might be, and if they are, you'll never figure out.
Yosef.
What
Did
you
we
say?
know? Did we know Yosef?
No.
I don't believe so.
Okay, I didn't remember the.
No, what I remember most about last sesh was the craziness of the Nosferatu situation. The sunshine machine that detonated beneath the sewer tunnels. And the ominous aura of dread that you, the prince, and the prince's hound felt coming from the north.
I was about to say, you are in the final chapter, simply titled North.
Is it a new day?
No. Not unless you guys go back to the Econo Lodge.
Okay, wasn't sure if we had jumped past that or not. I think we had said that we were going back to the Econo Lodge, but I'm not 100% sure of that.
I'm not sure that I understand. Are we supposed to just stay here and wait for them to enact retribution?
Mm, I think we need to hunt them.
I mean, there's also a hag to kill.
Oh,
That
boy.
too. Although I wonder if we need to kill her.
All that is necessary is that you retrieve
The
the
tokens?
Yes. So this could technically be a stealth mission into the hedge. Not into the hedge, my bad. Oh no, into the hedge, yes. I forget, hedge and fairyland are not the same thing.
I
To the
was about to
woods.
say. She doesn't seem the sort to try and walk around the city in a glamour.
It would be an unfamiliar territory. It would be attempting to infiltrate her lair and steal back items that she may have concealed through any manner of technique that we are not familiar with. It's not an easy, not going to be an easy thing to do. We don't know that world.
No, we don't. And can't rule out the possibility that these things are so precious she only carries them on her person.
And there's also the possibility that we won't be able to find her unless she wants to be found. We didn't see where she lived. She found us. So if we did it, we'd need a local guide.
We need a guide and we need bait.
Unless you guys want to track through the hedge on your own.
That's wise.
In the short time I spent there, I discovered it was very easy to trick my senses. Things don't behave quite the same way.
I'm not sure if this is the type of favor that we can ask Chaya for. But he's the only Fae we know outside of the outside of Omar's court.
And right
craves-
now, you're on the outs. No matter who you work with, you're gonna have to provide payment.
He craves favor. He craves attention and status within the court. Perhaps we can use that. This would certainly be something that would take him, that would raise his status. The thing is, we'd have to give him a good deal of the credit.
I don't care about my personal status with the fairy court.
Neither do I. It's simply in so much as it's useful to us.
Mostly I just don't want them getting in our way when we go after this squad.
My personal inclination is to try to find the acquisitions team. Just, but I understand why retrieving those objects from the hag might be a priority as well.
Lesser priority, but not something that we should lose sight of. I don't like leaving a job half finished.
All I know is that they have established themselves in a lair to the north of us. Do we have maps?
Easy enough to acquire. What do you need to find?
North was very, very clear. So wasn't a sense of northeast, northwest, north. Um, I think we can check to see what's in a direct path to the north, and maybe see if there's something that seems to be of interest. I do love abandoned factory facilities and just generally
Did you get
places.
any indication of distance away?
Yeah. No. But I doubt they would have gone too far out of the city.
Reynold, I would like to do a cursory look at a map of Chicago and the surrounding area. Like, just try to find like a Gazette map.
Absolutely. No roll is necessary. So north of Chicago is Evanston, Glenview, and Northbrook. On routes 94 and 294, there are forests. Not necessarily huge forests. Probably not some place you'd be able to get a camp, but you go out a little bit west of your location, like around Route 294, and things get a little
Wild?
a little wild, yeah.
They don't seem to be folks who like the wilds. I mean, for one thing, they might run into my kind out there.
Not
But
sure if they care.
I think that they. I mean, maybe an abandoned government facility, abandoned railway, abandoned factory.
What's in Northbrook?
Let me.
It has North in the name.
It has north in the fucking name.
They wouldn't be this obvious, would they?
I mean, it's not a matter of them. It's a matter of it's the matter of the hint you've been given. Here we go. There's Yullavan Truck and Trailer Repair by the Some Prairie Nature Preserve. Right next to the Northbrook Animal Clinic.
Oh, great. A medical facility and a whole bunch of high-powered machinery
Yup.
next to a forest
Mm-hmm.
that no one goes to.
Uh-huh. I mean, there's a post office.
I'm thinking we should go in the opposite direction.
South?
Far, far south.
It seems like a promising. It may simply be wishful thinking on our part. I've tracked enough prey to know that sometimes our mind finds things that aren't really there, but it feels possible.
Whether we find them and what we do when we find them is another thing entirely.
We killed them.
That was so easy last time, yes.
We try to avoid not being mangled in the process.
If there was any way to split them up, to get only one or two of them at a time, that would be ideal.
Northbrook seems so good, but it is 6 hours away. Then again, fuck it. It's my world of darkness. It's my Chicago. Northbrook is only 2 hours away.
Excellent.
Now that seems more like a lead.
Well, in terms of what you're thinking of, Yosef, I've only observed two things that I would consider to be real weaknesses. Alexandra's not Alexandra. What the hell's her name? The
Victoria?
Victoria. Why do I always get her name mixed up with mine? Victoria's too intelligent. She's arrogant about it. She is always assuming that she's smarter than us, and she is. But her contempt for others leads her to make mistakes and underestimate them. She has not expected us to do as much damage as we have. We haven't
That's true.
gotten to grips with them, but we've also damaged their operations a great deal. And she still seems to hold us in contempt. That's a huge weakness in my mind.
We've wounded you so dearly. Hardly. I had this all planned out. Are you sure? Shut the fuck up.
Then the other weakness is, of course, her compatriots. From what we can observe, are, I mean, at least in terms of the beast and the mask, they seem limited in what they can do mentally. Which
That's true.
seems logical given, that seems to make sense given that what we know about Victoria, having people that she can manipulate easily and who validate her contempt for others makes sense. But the question is, how do we use those weaknesses?
Well,
Yep.
none of them have a connection to the Fae. I think that if we were to...
That may not be correct.
Mm,
I was
The-
about to say.
point.
They got into the hedge, which means that they had some way of doing it. Still, we haven't seen much of that side of them.
I think that it's very possible that they're as hesitant about the hedge as we are, and currying a bit of favor with the Fae might be the advantage we need.
Possible. The only other thought that I have is, given Victoria's contempt of us, if we made some mistake, glaring, obvious mistake that only idiots would make, she'd believe it. Because we're idiots.
That's true. She does want to think the worst of us.
Or the best of herself.
There we are.
I think she thinks of everyone as being idiots. Just unfortunately, I can't think of what the mistake should be.
Something that looks convincing enough but won't completely fuck us.
The worst thing that we can do in facing this group is underestimating them in the way that they've underestimated us.
Agreed. And Alex just lets her hand rest on her abdomen ever so slightly.
They've shown some control over certain magic that can keep them from being magically discovered or tracked. The hag described it as a strong connection to the weird.
I
So don't forget that. It makes Victoria extremely powerful and alluring.
power always is. And Easter thinks that she might recognize a bit of a familiar feeling in Yusuf's words.
So Alex's eyes sort of darted up at the whole word alluring. Can I make an empathy check on Yusuf?
You can! Roll that beautiful wits and empathy.
Totally not sweating.
Can I toss in some spirit?
Oh, I can make that happen for you.
It's 4 dice.
Yusuf, are you trying to hide your affections, or do you simply not present them?
I'm trying to keep them under the surface.
All right, then give me a manipulation and subterfuge.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 dice.
Okay, so that's just 3 successes.
1 hit.
Alex, your spirit guides give your spirit guides and your own intuition help you come to the conclusion that your poor boy is heartsick. There's no cure for what he has.
Ooh.
Your boy is slowly dying of a broken heart. Only true love's kiss can break the curse. What happens next? Oh, it can't be good. And when I say this, it's quite literal. Like when he says alluring, he didn't even notice he was doing it. He literally massages his chest right where his heart is.
Maybe we should take our focus. Huh. Yes, I think you're right. Maybe going to the hedge will give us a lead that we need. But we will probably have to pay someone to help. I can't really help with that.
It's difficult because the entrances move, don't they?
Sometimes. There are many known entrances. Some of them don't work. Like a shifting labyrinth. Doors open and doors close. But the locations of those doors often remain. It's just a matter of whether they're open or closed right now.
Gotcha.
But it's clear that moving forward, Alexander's brilliance Victoria's brilliance is our biggest threat. Perhaps if we can get some of the weaker compatriots away from her and destroy her support network, break her plans, but leave her alive.
It's clear she has many agents, but you saw you saw the woman who was working at the morgue like Capable does not describe her at all. Like, she walked into the room with a 9mm and a grenade. You shot her once and she went down. Like, she'd been smoking meth to stay up late for like 7 days. Like,
Oh no, I meant the others.
yeah. But I'm saying, like, if you kill
So
the other members of the acquisitions department, the agents she'll be able to get her hands are not nearly as dangerous.
And I was also saying what I was saying to see how Yusuf reacted to that.
Oh,
That was the main reason.
Well, I mean, his eyes kind of light up at the idea of hunting her down, seeing her face to face, being right.
also, Alex, you only said that some of them had to die. Yusuf, this obviously means that your beloved is excluded. She would be permitted to live, naturally.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
I
Once
mean,
we get rid of the others, she would give up this farce and stay with me.
of course! I'm so glad you understand the nature of this curse without me having to even explain it to you. You're
How
just
long
like,
have we been playing games together?
"Ah,
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Catch a curse.
catch a
Catch a
curse! Anyway. But Alex, you did present an interesting idea. Everybody give me an wits and politics roll.
Certainly.
Ah,
Rolling a lot of ones today. I
That's
must be
what-
distracted or something.
that's one skill that Alex is probably never going to take. Not.
Wop wop. Derek, I see that you're muted. Were you eaten by a wizard?
Derek.
I do not know how it got muted.
Oh.
Let's see. I got one success.
It sounds like your microphone switched.
Yep.
Okay. That is probably what muted you.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
Still, no biggie. The three of you put your heads together and you're like, you know what? There is probably a way we can turn Chaya helping us into a favor for the court. So he gets paid in Kubi points, and we get paid in actual shit that we need, and the court gets to feel good about everything that's going on. Everybody gets what they need. Although the exact mechanics of that elude your meager political skills. And like how to arrange that operation isn't exactly obvious.
Possible. We just have to do it correctly.
At at junctures where Yusuf isn't really paying attention, Alex will meet Easter's eyes and just look at her very fixedly.
Easter, Alex seems to be trying to communicate.
Let's see. That's wits and empathy.
Go for it.
A measly one success.
You'll probably have to use your words. Quite possibly communicating over textual electronic means.
Oh. I think Alex just has like a burner phone that doesn't. Maybe it has text.
Oh, you have
A fucking cricket.
you have a couple of burner flip phones. They do text, but they don't have like texting keyboards. You have to like tap the button to scroll through the letters.
Yeah, I remember those.
Remember, I still have mine. I only stopped using it because the batteries died. And I could not get a replacement battery. And then I was
Yeah, I
like,
remember my,
I mean, I remember Capsule Razor. That thing was a brick and lived forever.
It's true.
my old Motorola phone. I accidentally dropped on the beach and didn't notice. And then couldn't find it, and then finally stumbled across it the next day after it had been out in the on the beach in the rain, and it still worked fine. So tough phones.
but yes, Alex, you have messages in in-game chat. Meanwhile,
Oops. Ow.
what plan will you execute to try to get a guide for the hedge?
Unfortunately, I seem to have the best rapport with our Fey friend. Perhaps I should draft up some sort of proposal.
Think that's a good idea? Let's
Oh,
take a
you
look
do?
at it. Yeah. I mean, they love that kind of stuff.
Reynold, I'm going to try my best at drafting up a Fey contract.
Oh boy. Longevity incept dates. Cool. I think this is a politics role.
I think so? I can't imagine what else it would be.
It's either politics or academics.
I mean, if it was academics, I do have points in linguistics.
I think intelligence and politics sounds good to me.
Okay. The difference is a very fine roll versus an absolute batshit insane roll. Like a 9 dice roll. We don't need that right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 hits.
3 hits. You write up a sweet little document about payments offered, payments received. It doesn't hold any very weird power, but it could suitably serve if instilled with some.
Writing it physically on a sheet of paper seems appropriate here, rather than picking out a type font.
You are absolutely correct. Writing it out is far more powerful, and like it does not matter what you write it on. It only matters that it was committed to the written word. You can create a fucking whack job ape shit fucking
Sticky notes
right
piled.
sticky note contract or like fucking cocktail napkins. Some of the most powerful contracts changelings have ever written were on cocktail napkins. Simple,
God, I love that.
short, precise, binding, deadly. Cocktail napkin.
I've got a legal pad, and that's about it. That'll have to do. And I would like to make mention as a footnote that I am the one who signed the contract with the hag in the first place, so I may have something that could aid in the tracking process.
That's true. You have been ensorcelled. Ensorcelments create a bond.
However faint. right, I'm gonna take 5 to go grab some food
Do it. Eat
because
food.
there is chili. I've been smelling it, and it smells so good. And I'm gonna go full Cookie Monster on it.
Gonna
Nom, nom,
torture it,
nom.
hasn't it? Nom, nom, nom.
Nom, 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 nom.
Ogres are not necessarily stupid, but they are fairly gullible. Cyclopean.
Lovecraftian. He loved that word.
He loved his Cyclopean abysses.
In buildings.
I do like how there's never exactly a solid description of what Cyclopean means, and yet it is evocative.
That's pretty much Lovecraft's language in a nutshell.
True. What does this
He
mean? How does it make you feel?
I mean, the only thing we ever really got clear descriptions of were like the Innsmouth people.
There is a lot of description about the Innsmouth people and their bulging eyes and slack skin.
I'm actually currently reading that story.
You are?
Yep.
You should check out after you read it. Are you reading it for the first time or a reread?
First time.
There's a fairly recent series called Innsmouth Legacy,
Oh.
and it is an intersectional feminist take on the Innsmouth story.
Interesting.
So
I'll have to check that out.
I enjoyed it. The protagonist is a deep one.
Oh.
A deep one or a fish person?
Well, I mean, she is a child of Innsmouth.
Okay.
So she is still by and large human looking.
Right.
Not,
But
not particularly attractive, but you know.
the sea calls.
And she's does a little sorcery, and yeah. Anyway, it's an interesting take.
Interesting.
I am currently finishing God Emperor of Dune, and I got to the point where Duncan Idaho climbing a sheer rock face causes one of his guards to have an orgasm.
What? I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, man! God Emperor of Dune. He's climbing this fucking cliff face to set a trap for Emperor Leto, and Nyla, like Siona's only soldier, is watching him, and she's like, "Oh man, this is so fucking hot." And like she regrets that like Duncan belongs to Siona and they're destined to mate because fucking he never calls it sex, he always calls it mating. And once he reaches the top, she fucking just it says once he crested once he crested the wall, that's when she had her orgasm. Like literally those words, not like, oh man, this is fucking hot watching this dude fucking climb a mountain.
Wow. No, I don't remember that. It's been such a long time since I read that book. I mean,
Oh,
frankly,
yeah.
the only one I've reread recently is Dune. So,
Like, I feel like the original is pretty good, but like, God Emperor is so weird.
oh yeah, I mean all of the sequels by Herbert
Yeah, but you
were
shouldn't do
weird
this
and
like
not as
that.
good, and then these ones by his son are
Phil
supposed to be
hates
pretty bad.
killing people.
Oh God.
Oh my god,
I shouldn't have put it in
I
that
can't
chat.
believe she just went for my life like that.
No mercy.
Now all of China knows that she compares me to Ignatz.
What did Cap say?
Fucking do me dirty like that.
Listen, I read you for filth, okay?
You don't need to, though! I hate him!
All right, I'm gonna put it in World of Darkness memes. That's
I thought you liked him.
No! No, the entire reason why I want him on my team is so I can put him on an A squad with everyone else that is a piss baby coward and make them learn to like killing people.
Who is Ignatz?
Fire Emblem. 3 houses.
So, contracts written up, decently written, to Club Karma.
I believe so.
Back to Club Karma, twice in one night.
Derek. Those are the books that I was talking about. They're
Okay,
in memes.
cool, thank you.
Ooh. Deep roots. Club Karma is still bopping. It is not so close to dawn that people are deciding to leave. But people who are too intoxicated are being gently but firmly escorted out.
Wonderful. Sort of give a wave to the bouncer and tread the familiar path to Chaya's place of office.
It's pretty effective. Yusuf, do you have Barfly?
I do not, actually.
I mean,
I do, and I'm going with him.
fair enough. Like, Yusuf, you have enough rapport. Alex and Holmes, you do not. But Easter, you have Barfly, so you just get in close, and he's like, "Oh, that's his +1, so I should let them in." And when you get to Chaya's office, he just looks at the two of you and says, "Twice in one night. What do I owe the favor?"
We wanted to start by thanking you in person for the service you provided. Easter will have someone drop it off in the morning. Needs a little TLC.
I see. Perfectly understandable.
The prince is very pleased to have his people back.
What can I say? I loved... Surtur has taught me so much about her people.
And you have taught us so much about your own. When we first met, you mentioned that you had a lack of favor with the Bowery King.
I do. I
I-
mean, perhaps not a lack, but not as much as I'd like.
Well, I have a proposal for you that I think would be of mutual benefit to us all. And I pass over the document.
Let me see. He looks it over and he's like, "This is very well written. Pardon me while I plagiarize it. Punch it up a little bit."
Please. This is a
Um,
collaboration.
He takes out another sheet of plain white expensive paper and draws out a fountain pen and begins writing. The contract he draws up is fairly similar. It's you'll help him get in with the Bowery King, he'll help you get what you want, and the Bowery King will receive his pound of flesh. It's a contract that fundamentally says everybody has to win or everybody loses. Have you ever seen that image of 5 mice stuck in the same mousetrap?
Yes.
Yep. Succeed together, fail together. And there are 3 lines. He signs on one and offers you to sign on another.
I do.
Then there's only one more that we need. Don't mind me if I don't ride with you. You know where to go, right?
Yes, we do. Unless they've switched doors.
No. Unfortunately, the freehold is not so easy to move. But I'll meet you there.
Wonderful. Yusuf gives a smile and gets up to enter the club and meet up with the other 2 who were not so lucky to come in.
I imagine they're still stuck outside, and Holmes is repeatedly harassing the bouncer, like, no, really, check the list again.
Oh, I thought we'd come in and we're being quiet.
Oh, no. You're not allowed to come in. The 2 of you, I'm sorry, Holmes, you are not cool enough to get into a nightclub, and Alex, you scare people.
That's good.
Together, we should be able to break in.
You could if you wanted to cause a ruckus.
Hmm.
If I thought it were necessary.
Not necessary at all.
How'd it go?
Better than I could have ever hoped. It's like the stars are aligning. We need one more signature.
That's usually why it's very important to find out what you're missing.
Oh, that's easy. We need to go back to the freehold and present this to the Bowery King.
Oh no, I mean when I feel like the stars are aligning, there's usually something. It usually means I'm missing something.
Oh, I just think of it like a stroke of good luck at last. It's long overdue.
God, you're beautiful. On the other hand, you taste like chicken. Ugh, what am I supposed to do? Anyway, so you
Who's
guys,
who's Holmes being? I mean, who are you playing right now?
don't worry about it. So you guys head out to the freehold. Thankfully, there's someone here to guide you to where you're supposed to go.
Guide or guard?
Guide. Chaya is there.
Ah,
Because you remember, you forget which grave it is after you've left.
that's fair.
Didn't Chaya just say that he didn't want to? He didn't want to be there, or he would be welcome, or something?
No, he didn't want to ride with you.
Okay.
So like he gets out of his car. His driver is human, and he's just like, "Oh, off to visit Uncle Lawrence." And he's like, "With a group, we were all old friends." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
What time is it anyway?
Like 4 in the morning.
Yeah. Getting near dawn, not there yet. As you guys approach the relevant mausoleum, like you go through the door and already Cookie is on his feet out of the chair he was in at the sight of you. But before he draws some weapon or other, he sees Chaya and then looks at the rest of you and just says, "If they fuck around, it's on your head." And he's like, "I understand. Don't worry. We come in peace. We come offering gifts." To which Cookie responds, "You Greek." And he's like, "No." And he's like, "Don't lie to me, son."
How did we get such a bad reputation? I thought we actually rescued a fairly good number of them. It's just that
No, it's those tokens. They're more important than we could have realized.
it seems so.
You saved 4 from being prisoners, and you turned them into being slaves. Oh God.
Well, if that's the case, then dealing with the hag seems a higher priority.
The collar
That's
ain't
good.
around their necks yet, but you give it a hot minute, and just like that, slam. Come into the hedge, my pretties. Work for me forever.
Like with everything else we're doing here, time is of the essence.
Of course, they can only stay in their rooms for so long. Changelings get stir crazy. Anyway, come on in. The office hours are still in effect. And he leads you all down into the freehold and to the Bowery King's office. And Juice and the fireman are present. The Bowery King looks at all of you and simply says, "This had better be goddamned important." And Chai holds his hands up to the rest of you, just like, let me handle it.
Yep.
My dear esteemed mayor, I think we've found a mutually beneficial agreement. Now, it just so happens that I have been able to make these people abreast of their understanding of the crimes they have committed, and I am going to do my best to help bring them to justice. Now, I propose something less retributive and more restorative. I've got a contract written up here, and I think that it will satisfy all of the parties. And the Bowery King looks at it, and looks it over, and has the fireman look at it, and has Juice look at it, and has Cookie look at it, and he looks at it one more time, and he's like, okay, seems solid. You need a guide? I can get you a guide. She doesn't fight, she doesn't kill, she just guides. Got it?
That's all we need.
Deal.
All right. Oh, Lucy! And he rings a little bell. And let's see if I can find something good. Oh, goddamn.
Is that monster snoring?
Is it?
I think it's me eating chili. Oh, no, I heard it.
Is it coming
Is it
out
coming?
of Derek's mic?
It might be.
Derek, you good?
Should be.
Okay, making sure.
Oh, goodness.
So she comes through the door and looks at you all, and the Bowery King just says, "These 4 would like to take a little excursion into the hedge, and they'd like your help to make sure they don't fall prey to anything terrible." And she just says, "I think I can do that. Yeah, no problem. I could use to stretch my legs." And he just says, "Fantastic. Your reward will be in glamour and goblin fruits." And she's like, "I like the sound of that." And she signs her name on the dotted line.
Oh, that's what she looks like.
Yes.
I love her. She's so cool.
Her teeth are big.
How tall is she?
8.5 feet tall.
Oh, okay. Troll.
Ogre.
Ogre. Okay.
There's a difference.
Um. Her. So, when you guys get out into the graveyard, unless there's any other business you'd like to take care of in the freehold,
No, not at all. The less time we spend there, the better.
sounds good. When she comes out of the graveyard, Chaya goes back to his vehicle, and he's just like, "All right, good luck. Don't fuck this up, kids."
We'll try not to.
She hunches down a little bit, and her glamour takes over, and she's still like big, but when she hunches over like she is, she doesn't look like stupidly tall. And like her wild clothing adopts the guise of like ragged layer upon layer clothing. It makes her look smaller than she is. Like an old babushka with too many coats. Like Batman in that disguise from the Dark Knight. Dark Knight Returns? You remember the one.
I do.
And she just looks at you and says, "Don't get to your car. There's an entrance to the hedge right nearby."
One professional question. How much can I trust my senses in the hedge?
You can't.
That was what I was afraid of.
Well, we're in your very capable hands.
That I am. And she leads you to a little fairy ring. A ring of shrooms. And she looks at you all and says, "Walk in, I'll go in last."
I'll lead the way.
When you take a step on the shrooms, you drop in and experience a portal-like event where you come. So you go in feet first, and you come out in an area of very different gravity. You seem to have come out of a wall feet first.
I check the immediate surroundings and make sure there's nothing that's going to be a threat to my companions.
Nope, there's nothing around you that's a threat. Only the floor coming to meet your ass. And you clamber on the ground with a tumble and a fumble. Who goes next?
I also step out of the way so that my friends do not fall on me.
Well, you'd love to do that, but we have to figure out who goes next.
I'll go.
All right, Yusuf. Alex, there's a Yusuf landing on you.
Yeah. Well, I was in the process of trying to get out of the way, so maybe I can dodge.
Yes. Make a dexterity and athletics roll.
That sounds right.
Sounds good.
Fortunately, a very Alex kind of roll. Two successes.
Two successes. You're able to get out of the way and pull Yusuf out of the way, and then pull Holmes and Easter out of the way as Lucy comes in last.
Oh, yes, we don't want to be the one under Lucy.
No.
Well, actually, she goes through head first, like climbing along the wall, like an infiltration expert. And then she looks around, appraises the situation, and says, "Good. With me around, you shouldn't be in trouble."
It would be fun if Discord had like a little feature so you could sort of zap people on the chat. Zzz.
I think that would be quickly abused, like that one scene from The Simpsons.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely would be.
I mean, MSN Messenger had the nudge feature.
Oh, Jesus. Don't bring me back to those days.
What was the nudge feature?
You would send a nudge, and it would violently shake the recipient's window, and there was no way to block it.
What in the absolute fuck? Who invented this?
I
Microsoft.
don't know. You could also send, they were called winked, which were short like video clips that would play, and there was no way to stop them.
Dear God. So, since you have a guide, the perils that you face in the hedge are easy enough to avoid. You walk into an open glade with a well at the center, and she's just like, "Cover your mouths. You know what? Hold your noses too."
Can do so.
Okay.
What?
As you guys walk around the well, an overwhelming sensation of thirst comes over you. Well, since you have your mouths covered and noses held, it's not so nearly overwhelming. But there is an inclination towards thirst, even though none of you had been thirsty before you got here.
Do not drink. Do not drink.
Sounds like a bad idea.
What? What are you talking about? Have you considered drinking the water from the well, even though it's obviously ensorcelled? So
In
yeah,
the hedge? Yeah, no.
yeah. Don't worry about it. And then she keeps walking, and she's just like, "That's a one-way ticket to slavery right there." There's another portion as you guys keep going through the woods, where she, like, her ears perk up, and she's like, "Everybody get down."
Look for
I do
cover.
not question her order.
I proceed to get down.
Everybody hits the dirt successfully. Oh my God. Okay, cool. Something stalks through the glade, sniffs the air, and then goes running off in another direction. I hate bartering passage for those lords of the hunt. Thankfully, they're almost always busy.
Oh.
And then she comes upon her prize. There are several bushes. 4 bushes. One has red berries, one has purple berries, one has green berries, and one has blueberries. And she just looks at the berries, and she's like, some of these are goblin fruits. Some of these are fungi balls. You don't want to eat those. I mean, maybe you do. Probably not. How interested are you all in on immediate out of body experiences?
I think I'd rather finish our task first.
Yeah, that's usually a
Or
good idea.
I have more other ways of doing it.
Understood.
It sounds very interesting.
Do you want one? It's now or never. They lose their potency outside the hedge.
Ah, never for me then.
Yeah, thing is,
Thanks for the offer.
if you're not here, someone else will be. But in my
Makes sense.
case, green is best. And she picks a bunch of large apple-sized squishy green berries and puts them into a pouch pocket.
So she's essentially just saying that these are hallucinogens, right?
Some of these are goblin fruits. Some of them are hallucinogens. There is a sensation of wanting to.
She's claiming all the goblin fruits herself.
Yes, as many as she can carry.
I offer her my bag.
Oh, thank you very much. Much less likely to squish him at that. Oh well. Do you offer her? Like she just takes the bag.
That's fine.
Okay, cool. You give her.
Easter is like my mom in that she has way too many bags.
Got it. You give her a purse. Lucy is fucking stoked with this purse. Like, the purse has much more structure and definition, which means it's much less likely the things inside will get destroyed or squished. And I don't
Dude,
know.
are you good?
Hmm?
Nothing. Just weird sounds coming out of background mic. I'm starting to wonder if I'm hallucinating.
No, it's that there may be a consciousness deficit in the party.
That's fair.
Such things have been known to happen. But so when you guys walked by the well, there was an insistence of thirst. Here, there is a suggestion of appetite.
Gotcha.
I could eat.
That's probably more dangerous because it's more subtle.
Exactly. That being said, you would be more likely to eat a snack that you had brought instead of one of the berries that's here or one of the fruits. But if you didn't have a snack, well, I mean, you're not going anywhere. You need to keep
When in Rome.
You need to keep your energy up while you're lost. And then she leads you to.
I'm sure pixies taste delicious.
Oh no, I like this. She leads you to a bog that is a pure white void.
Oh,
And on that pure white void, there is a shack.
oh.
And she looks at you all and says, "Good luck. I'll be waiting over here. And we will invade the shack next time."
That seems like a perfect chapter stop.
What can I say? I have skills.
You do. What a cool picture.